Lobbies and Gentlegrams, the 25th BET Awards commenced and TikTok comedians got scared to death as Kendrick Lamar took the broom and swept several awards and showed up to collect, while comedians cackled comically Druski, Kevin, and Kai. When Kendrick Lamar walked by, their eyes ducked away like they spotted birds in the sky. Just a very awkward high, which was hilarious to see because they latch on Lobby's log like squirrels to a tree. So let's break down the BETs, Kai, Kevin Hart, and Kendrick, all the tiny kings. But first, hit the like and subscribe like fingers to rings. Now, Lobbies and Gentlegrams, I haven't heard of the BET Awards in many years at this point. Honestly, I haven't kept up with any award show really until Drake said Kendrick just opened his mouth, someone go hand him a Grammy right now. And then ever since then, it's been like every award show has just been dedicated to Kendrick Lamar. And the BETs this year have been no different. Did we get some legendary ciphers? No, but Ludacris spit a good freestyle. Were there some good performances? Yeah. Some bad ones too? Of course. Some beefs? A couple. We're gonna break it all down. So, for those of you who actually care about the award show more than, the artists that were involved in it, the BET Awards were celebrating their 25th award show, which is pretty crazy. I thought the BET Awards were older than I was. They're as old as Kai Cenat, so it's fitting that Kai was running around like a little toddler, streaming the entire show. But of all the award shows, like back in the heyday, the BET Awards were always my favorite because, of course, it's black entertainment. So they put hip-hop, they put R&B, soul at the forefront of the show. Whereas, the Grammys, the American Music Awards, like, you're gonna hear more Taylor Swift there than in a single white chick's Mini Cooper. But the BET Awards, they always awarded the right music. They gave everyone their proper shine. The performances were always dope. Mind you, I haven't heard of any substantial moment from the BET Awards in the last 10 years, but they made the most of it this year. They were hosted by Kevin Hart. Kendrick Lamar won 5 awards, just like he did at the Grammys. And they were definitely tapping into the nostalgia on the performance side of things. So before we get into, all the Kendrick Lamar moments and all that, let's kind of look at the performances a little bit. Because to me, it's crazy. They used to have a lot of optionality in terms of, who was going to perform. And it seemed like it was a challenge to actually earn a spot on the stage of a BET Awards or Grammys. Nowadays, it feels like they'll let anyone perform. The biggest artist they had performing at this year's award show was Playboi Carti. And I don't mean that's the most legendary artist that was performing. I just mean the biggest artist of 2025 at that award show that performed was Carti. Other performers included a 106 in Park 25th anniversary celebration, which was Ashanti, Jim Jones, Keisha Cole, T.I., Bow Wow, B2K, and Jermaine Dupri. Mariah Carey had a performance. Lil Wayne had a performance, which we'll touch on shortly. There was a Quincy Jones tribute. There was a Babyface, Ludacris, and Tank performance. T-Pain was a part of that too. Snoop Dogg had his own medley type performance, and there was a Kirk Franklin performance. So they were really tapping in to the nostalgia for the 25th anniversary awards. And I thought this was interesting because it kind of says something about where music is at today, right? Or at least where award shows are at. These award shows used to be the biggest nights in music, and I get it now, no one watches cable, and it's been very hard for the BETs, the Grammys, to get people onto their platforms online to watch these award shows. You're usually just watching the clips back on YouTube and Twitter. Therefore, less people watching the award shows, less money in the award shows' pockets. They have a smaller budget to actually get bigger artists on their stage. I think if BET just directly live streamed this event to Amazon Music or YouTube or Twitch, I could be wrong, but I think they would be able to have a much bigger budget than if they were doing this directly to cable TV at this point in 2025. Look at how big Kendrick's pop-out concert was, right? Look how many artists came out to that event, and that was being live streamed on Amazon Prime. A part of the budget from that show wasn't just that, fans were buying tickets, but it was also because these companies were paying money to have it exclusively streamed onto their platforms. I think that's going to be the next era for these award shows if they want to exist in this digital age. But I think it's also there's been so much tapping back into nostalgia, whether it's, these award shows mainly doing nostalgia-based performances or a lot of artists doing rip-offs or knockoffs of old songs that were hits, 10, 20, 30 years ago. I said this on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, at Rapaholics. This award show, aside from Kai Cenat, Druski, Kendrick Lamar, Doechii, and Playboi Carti, it seemed like everything else was just based on pure nostalgia. And that kind of sums up the current, industry that we're in, right? Who's making noise aside from the Kendricks and Cartis and Doechiis and SZA and the Kai Cenats? If BET even had the proper budget to get a lot of big artists performing, who would they even go with at this point? Who's making enough noise right now to attract an audience onto these award shows? It's really sad to say at this point, but I think Kai Cenat would get more eyeballs onto the BET Awards than actual rappers performing at the BET Awards. And yes, I know we're kind of getting off topic here, but I just think that's a larger conversation that needs to be had, right? Like, there's been a lot of stagnation within music. I don't feel like there's enough artists right now that are really moving the needle. And it's reflected in these award shows when you see that they're relying so much on either nostalgia or just 2 or 3 artists to draw in the audience, like a Kendrick and a Carti. But hey, it definitely worked this time around because we have a lot to touch on and unpack in this video. So officially, Kendrick extends his record as being the rapper with the most amount of BET Awards in history. The man's got 37 wins in BET history. Jay-Z is the second most with 25. Drake with 24, Kanye with 19, Lil Wayne with 16, and then Cardi B with 14 wins. So Kendrick is ahead of them by a long margin here. I also thought this was kind of interesting. Look how little variety there has been for the best male hip-hop artist winner over the last damn near forever, really. I mean, in the beginning, they used to switch things up a lot, right? Like 2001, it was Jay-Z, then it was Ja Rule, then 50, then back to Jay-Z. Then it became kind of like a ping-pong battle between Kanye West and T.I. Then Lil Wayne was thrown into the mix. Then Drake came out. And then if you look here, what's really interesting is once Kendrick Lamar released Good Kid, Mad City, it's literally just been a back and forth between Drake and Kendrick every single year. You had, Nipsey Hussle break the pattern in 2019. DaBaby and Lil Baby had their, mini runs in the beginning of the 2020s. And ever since then, it's just been straight Kendrick Lamar from 2022 all the way now to 2025. And that's what I mean by, no variety, right? Like, if you look at the beginning in the 2000s, you'd go from 50 to Wayne, Kanye, Ja Rule, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne. Like, you had all these different artists winning every year. And now, ever since, the early 2010s, it's just been Drake, Kendrick. Now, as far as the awards that Kendrick actually won last night, our guy picked up 5 awards. Album of the Year for GNX, Video of the Year for Not Like Us. Not Like Us also won Video of the Year at the Grammys. Best Collaboration with Luther. Video Director of the Year with Dave Free. And Best Male Hip Hop Artist. And rightfully so. I can't wait to see, with the Grammys as well. I think GNX is going to win Album of the Year there too. I can't really think of a better hip hop album or album in general that has come out. Really, honestly, maybe in the entire 2020s decade at this point. Does Mr. Morale have more substance? Yes. But the replay value so far, at least for me, on GNX has been amazing. But, it wasn't all just about winning awards last night, because Kendrick Lamar got into a funny little interaction with Druski and Kai. Now, if you guys didn't know, these are 2 avid Ovi hoes. I'm not gonna crap on them because I love Druski. Druski to me is the funniest guy on the planet right now. His Instagram skits are A1, but there's something about these streamers and Instagram comedians' weird loyalty to Drake. I don't know if they're on the payroll. Maybe they just grew up listening to Drake. We're not just gonna touch on Kai Cenat and Druski. There's a lot of weird behavior in the mix right now, but we'll start with Kai Cenat and Druski. So it started when Kai Cenat was live streaming the event, and him and Druski noticed that Kendrick Lamar had actually made a surprise appearance at the award show. And again, this is Kendrick's first time at the BET Awards in probably a decade. And look at Druski's face when he realizes that Kendrick Lamar is there.
Oh, that's Kendrick! Nigga, that's Kendrick? What the f***? Oh, my back. My back hurt.
You could tell he looks scared because it's these award shows are small, right? He's guaranteed to bump into Kendrick if him and Kai Cenat are just live streaming, running around the whole event, doing a bunch of different things. He's bound to bump into Kendrick, and obviously he doesn't want to, right? Because he's a little bit of a Graham Glazer. Hey, on a side note, I don't know when I'm going to throw this in the video. I'm recording it after, but a lot of people have been questioning, Kendrick finally made an appearance again at the BET Awards. Where has Drake been, right? Drake has been acting like he's too good for this award show. I'm actually going to somewhat defend Drake here. The last time he went to the BET Awards was, I believe, in 2013 or 12, right after he got in that massive fight at a club with Chris Brown. And at the BET Awards, just like what Wale was saying with Kendrick Lamar, they announced the winner was Chris Brown, but really it was Drake. And so Drake had to then go up and accept this award that they presented as Chris Brown after he got in this fight with Chris Brown. And ironically, their fight was over Rihanna, and the song that Drake won the award for was a song with Rihanna. So I just thought this was funny. Check it out.
And the winner is Chris Brown. Look at me now. I'm sorry, Rihanna. What's my name?
Okay, this is awkward. The winner is Drizzy Drake. Come on over here, Drake. Congratulations, Drake.
Well, this is awkward. Young Money all day. OVOXO, your girl at my next show. Hey.
So then after Kendrick accepts his award, which, by the way, we'll show the entire footage after of Kendrick doing his speech and all that. But this is when he takes off backstage with his awards. He has too many to even hold to both of his hands, so he has someone else carrying some of his awards, and he passes by Kai Cenat and Druski, and just look at this interaction, right?
I'm just trying to get a photo. How you doing, bro? You good?
I mean, everything from Druski's face afterwards, they don't even look at each other. They don't say a word to each other. Kai Cenat, respect to him, at least he, acknowledges Kendrick. He had said a while back in a Billboard interview that, even though Drake is his friend, he has to admit Kendrick did win this beef. So at least he's, objective here. And it's funny because at the beginning of this beef, on Push-Ups, I believe, Drake's diss record, he was talking about Kendrick was begging Kai Cenat, and he thought that would be how he beats Drake, using the streamers against Drake. You could tell from these interactions, they've probably never even spoken in their lives, Kendrick and Kai Cenat. So I don't know what begging Drake thought Kendrick was doing in this entire thing. And before we keep speaking on Kendrick, can someone tell me what the hell is going on with Young Thug?
Thank you so much. I love your music. Thank you.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first award show he's made an appearance at since he got out of jail. Why is he, on the red carpet in a mask, flipping people off? We didn't even see him at the actual award show, just on the red carpet. I don't know. All this behavior is weird to me. The music he's released so far since he got out of jail has not been great. I'm a little nervous, the same way I was for the Carter 6 with Lil Wayne. I'm a little concerned with what we're about to get with Young Thug as well, but that's a video for another day. And he did tell Druski and Kai Cenat that he didn't want to be seen by anyone, so I guess that's why he's wearing the mask.
You is? Boy, you friends. No, you friends, right? With the watch on. That's what I'm with the watch. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. King Spider. No, bro. What you doing here, what? I want to be seen. That's your move. Oh, you a move, boy. Hey, what you doing here, boy? What you doing? What you doing here?
So now Kevin Hart hosted the award show, and he did a pretty good job. I mean, he's funny. I think him, Druski, and Kai Cenat are a good duo, or trio, I should say. He brought them on stage to introduce Playboi Carti. And you know what? This is why streamers are dominating in 2025, while the BET Awards need people like Kai Cenat to get their ratings up, all right? Because I did this whole freaking video for you guys, and I got copyright striked like 12 times, all for the clips that I put in this video of the BET Awards. All the Kai Cenat clips of him at the award show, those were fine. Those didn't get copyright striked. But freaking BET, when I'm putting in Kendrick's acceptance speech and all that stuff got shut down. So I'm redoing parts of this video. We're still going to break everything down. I just can't show you guys a couple clips, and it's all from the award show. It's like, get with the times, people, all right? Get on Twitch, get on YouTube. No one is watching cable TV anymore. I'm not talking about, like, I spent a lot of time clipping this up. Like, so it's only 10-second clips at a time of the award show, because I know how stingent they are about these copyright strikes. But what they don't realize is that me adding in, like, these clips actually makes their award show go more viral, because we're going to open up the discussion about Kendrick's acceptance speech and about, the different moments of the show. They want to block me from showing you guys all that, but whatever, it's all good. We're still going to discuss it. And you can see Kendrick Lamar laughing anytime Kevin Hart rips on Druski, so there's obviously something going on here. And then they make a joke about how every artist was fighting to be on Playboi Carti's album. I think Kevin's talking about Kanye here, right? Because Kanye was like super mad that Kendrick ended up on the album and Kanye wasn't on it. He was going on those Twitter rants, crapping on Kendrick, saying if you're a fan of Kendrick, you're not a fan of real hip-hop, and that Kendrick and Carti don't really mesh well. And we got to talk about Carti's performance, because, listen, I'm a fan of Playboi Carti. I like his album from this year. I thought it was one of the better rap albums of the year. I like how he's paying all this homage to, 2008 Lil Wayne with the whole aesthetic here, the outfits. He was sucking on a bedazzled, iced out diamond lollipop. Someone wrote on Twitter that, he's just sucking for the sport, not even for the flavor. But I think, there's a real problem with what Carti's been doing lately. I mean, every performance he does, I understand the kids are drawn to, the energy, the madness, the raging throughout his shows, but this guy cannot perform for the life of him. Throughout this BET performance, he wasn't even lip syncing at all. He was literally just letting the track play and making random noises throughout it. And on top of that, he's performing a song where it was exposed that he was using AI on that track. His vocals were straight up AI. And he's done this on multiple songs at this point. And listen, they sound good, right? But at what point do we have to have a conversation about what is really the lowest standard we can expect from the biggest artists in the game, right? Is it acceptable to get on stage and not say a word while you're performing? Is it acceptable to use AI in all of your music? We've seen Kanye do it. Now we're seeing Carti do it. Let me know in the comments, like, would you rather an artist use AI if it'll make their singing voice sound better? Or is this just the start of a massive problem? Anyway, speaking of Carti and Kanye, Kevin Hart was making jokes about them too. But alright, so enough with the Kevin Hart jokes, because this was by far the funniest moment of the entire show. So, after Kendrick makes his surprise appearance, he's sitting in front of Kai Cenat and Druski, and SZA has been on Kai Cenat's stream a couple times, like they're friends or whatever. So she goes to hug him. Again, they're sitting right behind her, and she's like, "Oh, do you guys know Kendrick Lamar?" And Kai, gives him a dap. He says, "What's up?" Druski looks at him and does not say anything, and it's the eye contact that both of them give each other that's absolutely hilarious in this entire interaction.
How you doing? You good?
Do y'all know each other?
Yeah, I just met him backstage.
Okay, good. Hi.
What's going on? Yeah. Hey,
Congratulations.
thank you so much. Appreciate you.
How you doing? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Every day I get happy.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, SZA.
That's all that is.
By the way, thank you again for doing that last time. I appreciate you. Thank
I really
you.
think highly of you.
Thank you so much.
And your life.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You bring me so much joy.
Thank you.
And I love kids, and I feel like you bring the kids joy.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Hey, you good? You good? What up, Roski? How you doing?
So if you couldn't get a good look at Kendrick's face, Punch from TDE made sure to post it on Instagram for everyone to see. This is what Kendrick looked like when SZA turned to Druski and Kai Cenat and was like, "Oh, do you guys know Kendrick?" This was his face. It's weird to me because Druski seems like such an unproblematic guy, and I haven't really seen him publicly, with Drake that much to the point where like he would ignore Kendrick Lamar at an award show. But you could say, "Oh, this was just Kendrick acting salty," but nah, look at Druski's face right when he sees Kendrick Lamar, right? Like he does not look too happy either. Usually he's smiling and everything, goofy as hell. Like he does not look happy here. And let's watch this clip back because someone on Twitter pointed out that after Kai Cenat says "What's up" and Druski kind of ignores Kendrick, you can hear Kendrick go, "You good?" And then someone responds by saying, "If guys keep playing around, don't worry." This could have been either Dave Free or Ray Vaughn, and I'm happy to see on a side note that Kendrick is still very close to the TDE camp. He's sitting there right next to Ray Vaughn. Like, that is someone with a ton of potential. I hope, like, Kendrick is somewhat involved in the, early stages of his career, whether it's through features or just kind of giving him advice. He has said that Kendrick gave him advice on the Joey Badass beef, so I'm hoping that Kendrick is around to guide this guy to make sure he's on the right path, right? Him and Doechii, I think they would benefit a ton from having Kendrick in their circle. And here's another one of Druski running away from Kendrick Lamar. And like I said, this isn't just Druski who's been acting weird whenever Kendrick's name is brought up or he's around or his music starts playing. There's this other Instagram comedian, or really just a Temu version of Druski. I don't really know what this guy does, Ben the Don. And Kendrick's music starts playing, and this girl is like bobbing her head, and he immediately goes to shut it off.
Oh, you don't like that?
Put on Netflix. Couldn't cut that out quick enough.
It's like they're always saying Kendrick's music is scaring the huzz, but I think the real huzz are the OV hoes, because this girl was obviously bobbing her head. This guy purposely went and turned off the music because it was Kendrick Lamar. But anyways, here's Druski and Kai Cenat being very loud in Kevin Hart's dressing room.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yes! Yo, the air conditioner.
Crazy. Kev, your room big as
Hey, man, settle down in my room, man. What? Oh, doing all that noise and in my room. Now we're about to do some crazy Close the door. Everybody close the door. Lower the volume. Everybody chill out. Huh? I need to show the chat how I got control. That's important for the chat to know it. I'm serious. Chat.
And I didn't realize in these award shows like how awkward the cameras are right in your face. Like they'll always pan, the camera shot to someone reacting to a performance that's going on or whatever. But it's like, imagine being in this crowd and like just having this massive camera like right in your face. I don't know. This is awkward as hell for me.
But as
On TV.
that are creative.
We done made it, nigga.
In our community.
Come on, nigga. All right, cool.
On a side note, that is kind of why it's cool to have streamers at these award shows, though. Not only does it bring a lot more buzz to these award shows, but like you get to kind of see behind the scenes of what they actually look like, not from the perspective of the polished, recorded version. Like you could see these big cameras in the face. You could see, backstage what goes down. It's cool. It gives us a little glimpse behind the magic. And then we get to Kendrick actually winning the award. So I thought this was interesting. They called him up to pick up his award for Album of the Year for GNX. And as he's walking up stage, everyone's, giving the standing ovation. They're standing up, clapping and all that. And the only group that you could visibly see that's not standing up is Yo Gotti with his CMG imprint. That's like Moneybagg Yo and all them. And I believe Yo Gotti was signed to Cash Money around the same time that Drake initially was as well. And I think Drake had even rapped that he was about to sign with Yo Gotti early on in his career. So, maybe they're not standing up for a reason here. But anyways, then Kendrick goes on to give his speech telling everyone to come to the GNX tour with him and SZA. And at the end of it, again, Kendrick won like 5 awards. So Kevin Hart comes on stage to give Kendrick all these awards. He's like, you've been winning crap all night, all year. So it's like, we can't even carry this stuff. This is up to you. You got to carry these. And shout out to Wale. We got to talk about Wale for a bit. So Wale posted, Kendrick actually winning his award.
I appreciate y'all. Love and respect to BET. Thank you every time.
And if you guys didn't know, Wale was recently on the Joe Budden podcast, and he messed up a story, all right? He was telling a story from like 12 years ago, a story that he said gave him like PTSD from being in the industry, where basically he was supposed to win an award at the Soul Train Awards in 2013 for a song called Love Hate Thing. And he said that the award show, before they gave the award to him, they said, hey, heads up, you're about to win this award. But when they announced the actual winner during the telecast, the broadcast of the award show, they actually ended up saying that Kendrick Lamar was the winner. And then at the end of the show, they said, hey, Wale, sorry, we messed up. And it was actually you that won the award. I don't know what happened there. So this sent Twitter in a frenzy, because if you guys didn't know, after this whole Drake-Kendrick beef, both sides have been very polarized. Like both fans at very far ends of both spectrums have been a little crazy. So the Drake fans were talking about, oh, you see, this is proof that Kendrick Lamar is an industry plant. Wale was saying, he was supposed to win the award, but just so that the award show looked good, they gave it to Kendrick, even though this was Wale's award. Basically, just calling Kendrick an industry plant, right? Doing all the OVO courthouse Karen conspiracy theory games they've been playing. But that's why I say, as like a Kendrick fan, you can't stoop to that level, right? Like there was a lot of hardcore Kendrick fans as well coming for Wale like crazy on Twitter, like just basically damn near cyberbullying the guy. And he's a very sensitive guy. I think that's the downfall of Wale's career, is the fact that he's been so overly sensitive about everything on Twitter. He was storming in Complex buildings because he wasn't nominated for Album of the Year or something, like way back in the day. He's just been, his ego has not let him, I believe, succeed. And J. Cole has a great song kind of putting Wale's career in perspective. Wale is a great rapper. But anyways, yeah, both sides were kind of coming at him, and Wale cleared it up that he actually misremembered the entire thing, because it wasn't true. It wasn't Kendrick that they gave the award to. It was Robin Thicke for the song Blurred Lines. So Wale apologized for not remembering the story correctly, and he was posting Kendrick winning this BET award to basically show like, hey, like I'm rooting for Kendrick here. I'm not here to try to tear him down after all the W's he's been taking. So, it's good to see that Wale is kind of maybe taking the less dramatic approach to things, right? Because he didn't have to come on and say, hey, I misremember that story, but he owned up to it. And I hope we see some good music from Wale in the future. But unfortunately, another sad Wale story from the BET Awards was backstage, he ran into Kai Cenat. So this was their little interaction.
How you doing? My boy? My boy? What up, Rusky? You good? What you playing on your Nintendo Switch? Smash. Smash, bro? I'll beat you. Alright, gang. Chad, does anybody have the Nintendo Switch? You're not even a Nintendo Switch type of Nah, me neither. I ain't gonna lie. But I heard it was like crazy though. I heard it was crazy, bro. Wale. Oh my God, that was somebody crazy. Hey, the whole chat knows him.
Wale.
Wale? What he do?
Rap.
Oh, word.
Lotus flower bomb is on or something?
Oh, shit. Wale. I smell good.
And it's crazy to me because Kai Cenat is only just a couple years younger than me. And Wale was everywhere on the radio. Like, if you're a real hip-hop fan, or like we consider Kai Cenat's platform like a real hip-hop platform, right? Like, how does he not know who Wale is? He was calling him Wally. Isn't it a little weird? Like, listen, I'm not one to dictate, where rappers should go or what we should consider hip-hop platforms, right? I'm the last person to have any authority on that topic. I'm a tourist here. I'm very well acknowledged of that, and I'm very appreciative for the platform I have. But, like, isn't it a bit weird that, like, all these rappers go to Kai Cenat for promo? Like, Drake is literally name-dropping him in his diss songs against Kendrick throughout the beef. But it's like this guy knows so little about hip-hop, he doesn't even know who Wale is. Like, I get it. Wale hasn't been that popular for the last, I guess, let's say 10 years. But Wale has some massive albums throughout the 2000s. If he kept going on his trajectory, or not even if he kept going, like from 2010 to 2015, you could make the argument that Wale was like a top 5 rapper of his generation in terms of like just mainstream success, actual full-length, strong albums. Like, you can make the argument it was Kendrick, Cole, Drake, Wale, and I don't know, Big Sean, you could say. Maybe A$AP Rocky, Meek Mill. But like, Wale was definitely up there. So for Kai Cenat being 25 years old, not like, 18 years old, 25 years old, and for him to not know who Wale is, so much so to the point where he's mispronouncing his name, I don't know, it's a little weird to me. Like, even his own chat knew him, right? And then, of course, Wale has to approach him and get a little dramatic about it.
That's making me look crazy right now, just let you know. What? That's making me look crazy. The exchange that we had in the hallway. It's like, my bad, bro. They're running with it, but we'll talk later. Yo.
But hey, at least Kai Cenat knew who Lil Wayne was.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And I can't play Lil Wayne's performance, obviously for copyright reasons and all that, but it was actually, I thought, a very good performance. Like, Wayne showed and proved here and with his Saturday Night Live performance that he still has it when he puts in the real effort, right? I'm surprised he didn't put in the effort on the Carter 6. I'm very disappointed with that. But hey, maybe he was not cut out for the Super Bowl stage, but he has been showing ever since then that he is a very strong performer still. So I respect it, and I respect this award show. I thought this was a great way to commemorate their 25 years in hip-hop. This was a great show, and BET has always had some very strong award shows. I miss the days of the Cyphers. I wish they would bring that back. Like, why is it Red Bull that's been, carrying the Cypher movement over the last few years? Why is it not BET? Why is it not Big Tigger? Where's like Funkmaster Flex? Like, a lot of these guys can still exist and thrive on YouTube, on Twitch. Like, I think these platforms, if anything, will elevate those legacy brands that were known to host some of the best artistic displays within hip-hop, right? Because obviously we can't leave it in the hands of a Druski and a Kai Cenat. Like, yes, they casually like hip-hop music, but they don't know who freaking Wale is, right? And if you want to get the attention of the kids, which, will carry the biggest audience, like, that's who these big corporations are trying to target for sure, you got to do it on the modern day platforms, right? Get on TikTok, get on YouTube, get on Twitch, and bring the classic shows, the 106 in Parks, the Big Tigger in the Basement, whatever it is, to these modern platforms. Show these kids that real hip-hop is still alive, right? It's just through different channels at this point. But hey, speaking of channels, I'm very thankful if you guys tuned into mine to listen to this video. Drop a like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of the BET Awards, what you want to see next, and I will catch you guys in the next one.